Hey, Sikes here, and I just want to take a quick moment to tell you about my show, Start the Beat. It's a podcast about independent artists for independent artists. Each episode highlights different humans from all walks of life and their individual stories about inspiration, determination, struggle, and so much more. Dive into the fantastic minds of these amazing people, absorb some useful knowledge, and expand your perspective on the world around you. It's like really important and stuff. Or whatever. Curated, produced, and hosted by me, Sikes. Start the Beat is part of the Epicast family, and you can find it on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever else you get your podcasts. Subscribe today and never miss a beat. Sit back, relax, and let's start the motherfucking
get this message out here. I'm doing what I love to help a community out. Like, I mean,
what is the next step? What's the one thing I can do today that's going to get us one?
So, I mean, I don't know what's in the future.
Art is the only way you can reach out to the future. It is the only thing that actually lives through a time capsule.
I think that if the DIY scene as a whole put more of a value on itself, it could be a lot more sustainable.
Now, if someone doesn't like it, that's their deal.
Should we be watching our mouths?
No, you can do whatever.
He swears constantly on his.
You can do whatever you want.
He swears a lot.
I do swear a lot. I don't know. You know, it's
relatable.
Yeah,
I like
fuck. What the fuck are you gonna do?
So we can fuck as much as we want.
Yeah, that'll get them clicks.
We won't
now
be
that I'm doing the
that.
video too, it'll be even better.
None of that.
The only podcast that's available specifically on Pornhub.
Dude, you'd get a lot of views.
That's
man.
a really good idea. Like just like interview people as they're fucking and ask them about it. Like, can you imagine that?
How's it going, man?
Like get like two musicians to link up that have never met and do it, and then review each other's music.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's happening.
That'd be some great reality
That's such
TV.
a good fucking idea.
Because I've seen photographers doing like them going and meeting people that they don't know and taking like intimate pictures with people. So that's just next level.
All right. Okay. So I have some things I'm going to work on. This might be the last standard format episode.
Yeah.
Any future guests, watch your back. Literally. Who knows? Anyways, hello and welcome to Start the Beat with Sikes. My name is Sikes, and this is my podcast. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone who checked out last week's episode. If you're one of the people who listened to that conversation, I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for coming back. But for anyone out there who is new to the show, welcome. Please feel free to make yourselves at home, and as always, there's beer and soda in the fridge. Today, there is not one beer and or soda out, but that's okay. I'm drinking some sparkling water. We got some more water, and we got some tea. Mm-hmm. My guests today are two of the folk from the band Old Game, and why don't you introduce yourselves, and we'll get this fucking thing rolling.
Well, my name is Brenda. I am the singer and guitarist of Old Game.
I'm Tom. I play guitar and sing sometimes too.
Okay. So you both do the same thing.
We do the same thing.
Simultaneously.
Yeah. Usually.
Yeah. We do a
Teamwork
lot
makes
of
the dream work.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, for anybody that hasn't listened to the band, you do trade off, the vocal duties and everything.
Yeah.
And it's a very cool dynamic. I mentioned before, I don't know if I think I've said it on here, that I do really, really enjoy your band.
Awesome.
I've seen you play a couple times, and you're really fucking good.
Thank
you.
You.
A cool mixture of like. This is actually a fun way to start this conversation, because like you're a rock band.
Yeah.
How do you feel about calling yourselves a rock band?
I don't know. I guess I've never actively said I'm a rock band.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the term rock has such a weird stigma.
I don't know. We say rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Yes.
There you go.
Everything is hashtag rock and roll. We don't say hashtag rock.
So
she just said hashtag.
So, what then to you, Tom, is rock versus rock and roll?
Oh fuck! I
What's
don't know.
the difference?
That was
Just
I don't know.
attitude, maybe.
That's the thing. I hate that's why I like saying rock and roll. Is because sure there is technically a genre, but it can be like super ambiguous.
Yeah.
It's just like you feel it. Yeah.
And then there's everybody wants you to, very specifically classify things. I get it a lot. Just, as a,
it's a pain in the ass.
Just,
just listen to it, man. It's easier to just listen to it.
I like people to just listen to things because I don't want somebody to get an idea that they're not going to like something automatically based off of a very specific description, you play in a black metal band while I only like symphonic black metal.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck you. You might like this too.
Much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't want to get pigeonholed, either in your tastes or how people look at you, I think.
Brenda, what do you think about rock?
I mean, what
do you like rock music?
Yes, I like rock music, but I like a lot of music, and I agree. Like that's why I also like that we use like rock and roll, because anytime someone asks what we are, for one thing, it has changed over the last 6 years since we've played together. We used to be a folk acoustic indie duo, and now we're like something way different. A lot of people think we're grunge. Some people think we're punk. Some people think we're metal. I don't know.
All of that.
I don't know. We're a lot of things.
Well,
that's why rock and roll sort of helps, because I'm just like, we'll play with any of you as long as you're loud and you want to have fun. Like that's kind of what we look for when we're looking to play with people.
I like that. Specifically the have fun thing. You mentioned now Old Game's been a band for 6 years, and I'm sure that Brenda, you've been doing music longer than 6 years. I know damn well Tom has, because me and him have played in old bands together for a long time. And I don't really care about playing shows with anybody besides people that want to have fun, because like I just don't have time to not have fun. If I'm taking time out of my day to like lug gear across town or whatever, it's like I better have a good fucking time, because like if this is gonna be miserable and I'm like sitting here thinking about like, oh, I could be doing laundry right now, like that fucking sucks. That sucks. Don't make me think about laundry at a show. Make me have a good fucking time. And I do see a lot of very diverse sound in Old Game, getting back to that. And the funny thing you mentioned, people used to think you were a folk thing. I think the first 1 or 2 times I maybe saw you perform, it was just you two.
Probably.
It wasn't like a full band thing. And it was a lot more like folky, but I think it was just like the nature of it being like an acoustic performance, And then the first time I saw you with Josh and Eric, I was like, whoa, what the fuck happened?
Sounds
like
a lot
it's so
different.
much more,
because that's
it's the
thing.
same songs.
It's the same songs, same lyrics,
but,
same structure.
Amplified with like a really heavy rhythm backing section. It changes the whole deal. But I think that speaks a lot to the power of the songwriting, the fact that you can take those same songs and apply them to different formats and they still work musically. Not every band can do that. Nothing against them, but
because we were singer-songwriters, that was the thing. We met at like an open mic.
Oh no shit.
So
okay,
we were both just doing our own thing.
So you said you've been doing this for about 6 years. So
that's when we met.
About 6 years ago.
Like when I quit like the old band that I used to play with you, man. Then I just like started trying to write my own songs, and then I did, and then I started playing open mics, and then I met her. And the rest is
And we started playing music immediately, because that's what I approached him about. I was just like, "Hi, I want to play songs with you. I wrote one. Will you sing with me?" And he was just like, "Who are you?"
It was creepy.
Well, that's fucking awesome. So Tom, I know your background pre-Old Game. Brenda, I don't know a fucking thing about you. So what brought you to that open mic night? What were you doing before the band?
Before the band, I wasn't doing much with music, which was sad. What brought me to the open mic was wanting to start getting out and playing music again. In college, I had done mostly vocal work. So like I was a part of choirs and a cappella groups and stuff like that. I had played a little bit of like acoustic guitar and sang and wrote in high school, but it pretty much stopped when I was in college. So once I started the BBT open mic and met him, it was just like...
So was that like the first time you went that you met him? Okay, so you had been going.
I spied on him for about 4 months before I approached him.
I feel like
because you were there
like
every
we had
Tuesday.
like maybe another interaction before that.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I used to used to drink a lot back then.
So at the Bloomfield Bridge, then over Bloomfield.
Yeah,
Rest
yeah.
in peace, right?
Yeah,
it's done.
Rest in peace.
man.
How was that? Was that like
Sad.
a little
It was-
heartbreaking?
That was
Yeah, it was
so
a sad
sad.
parting. I went for the last days. Yeah, man, it's such a big part of my history and our history, and it was really sad.
Yeah, it sucks. I really didn't have much of a history there. I did like one, like back in high school, I was in like a drum and bass project.
Yeah,
And I did
well,
the
that
drum
would
and
be the
bass
place
night
to go.
one
Yeah,
time, and
man.
it was before I was even fucking 21. I don't even think I was 18 yet at the time. And they like let us play and made us leave.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, I'm surprised they did that, man.
yeah, different times.
Yeah,
The world was a
yeah,
much less
yeah,
intense
yeah.
place back then.
Yeah.
But besides that, I might have gone like 1 or 2 times. But yeah, I know a lot of people that were super, super bummed about that
Yeah.
place. I mean, obviously, if you're going to open mic nights there, was that like a weekly thing?
We used to go
Yeah,
every
man.
week, and we did for probably a good year or two until like Old Game actually
Oh,
started becoming
yeah,
a thing.
until we started playing. And
A
then,
lot.
And then I quit drinking, so that was a lot less bars.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So like completely done with
Yeah,
the
man,
drinking.
a little over 2 years.
Congrats.
Sober. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
It was a big feat for me.
Yeah. No, that's a good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's. I try to. I know a lot of people that are like real heavy in the beer scene.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like around it a lot more
And
than
that's
I
awesome.
should be.
That's
It's
cool.
like I do appreciate it, but I like try to. I don't know. Shit's weird. It's like I had a beer the other day before band practice. It just made me like tired. I was like, I
Yeah.
fucking hate this. Like, why did like the beer was okay and now I'm tired. Like, why the fuck did I do that? So I like definitely try to stick to like water and like normal shit as much as I can. It just like drags me down.
Yeah, man.
As much as I like it.
Well, I still smoke a lot of weed. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Gotta have something dragging you down, right?
Totally. Well, no, but whatever. So Brenda, Old Game's technically your first band then, right? Maybe your first time writing music with other people?
Ish. In
Ish.
high school, when I did play a little bit, I had a band called March 19th
With Britta,
with
right?
my friend
Yeah,
Britta,
yeah.
who we're going to see in New York this weekend.
Yeah, we're about to go out there.
Our band's playing with her band.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm really
So-
excited to see her and get to reconnect. But we had an acoustic duo and we made a terrible little EP and it was great.
Cool. So you had like some previous
Little bit.
experience and like writing music with other people.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
not necessarily like with like drums and bass and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we also did like a horrible EP under a different name.
Oh, really? Okay.
So we had like a first like attempt at it, and
Yeah.
With
And
other
then-
people involved?
yeah,
Yeah, and
Okay.
then Old Game happened.
Gotcha,
And we
gotcha,
gotcha.
switched. And that really switched our sound.
Yeah, I think we were still like just getting
Exploring.
into we were still vibing it out for a while.
So interest-wise, Brenda, so I'm going to ask you a good bit of questions. I don't know you
You're
as well as I
fine.
know Tom. I don't really know Tom that well either, but I can
We
come
can
to
take it enough.
I can make assumptions based on my history with Tom about like basically the question I'm going to ask
Tell
you.
me your assumptions about him first. Because
well,
I want to know what you know.
No, we don't need to talk about that. Actually, I'm kind of curious.
given the question I'm about to ask you, my assumption on Tom is that, he comes from a background where he was listening to like heavier music and was into stuff that was a little bit more extreme. So then, given the trajectory of your band, I see you getting together, starting to write stuff, and maybe it's kind of like a little folky, trying to do something different. Then as it evolves, it's like, oh, well, actually, it did like playing this heavier stuff, so it slowly starts to creep its way in. Is that like a correct assumption?
Not entirely.
Okay.
Yes and no.
So
I would
was
say
just-
I definitely pushed for it more, but I think we were both feeling folky at first, right?
Yeah, we were both feeling folky. And
yeah,
my
that
background.
was my assumption as
Yeah.
well. Because I figure, sorry, I mean to
Yeah,
cut you
you're
off, but Tom, you get out of playing the bands that you're playing in, and maybe like I know a lot of people, it's like I want to do something like different. I want to take a different path.
Yeah.
So I mean, you weren't necessarily playing in any folky bands that I was familiar with at the time back then.
We did for like a minute. I don't know. We kind of just we do our own thing, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
anyways.
There's no rhyme or reason to
Yeah.
it. I don't think we're just
The whole thing I was trying to get at was what kind of
Where
music
did I
were you
come
listening
from?
to? Yeah. Like what were you into?
So my I feel like I'm always slightly lighter than him, but we actually had a big crossover in what we listened to in high school growing up. Like, I'm pretty sure we went to a lot of the same shows because I was originally from Somerset, PA. So an hour out, so coming to Pittsburgh was a big deal. And like going to see, the big bands coming through was always exciting. So we would come up to see Death Cab for Cutie, Isley, Every Time I Die. Chiodos was a big deal back then.
Sure.
Like anything like that. But I definitely, like, the group of guys that I ran around with in high school, they were in a band. And I would follow them around to their shows, and I was basically just a groupie then. But they were all like heavy metal. Some of them were like crazy Cradle of Filth stuff. Like, I was exposed to a lot.
Yeah.
But I think like what is nice about him and I, like, although my presentation is sweeter and nicer and his presentation is more harsh, our like general music taste is kind of the same.
Yeah, and we both kind of have that like '90s background. And, like, she fucking loves the Cranberries. And,
Yes.
R.I.P. Also.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our tastes overlap a lot, and I'm an emo kid at heart. So
Same.
Yeah.
I'm an
I
emo
just
kid.
like I always played in heavy bands, and I like to feel it,
Yeah. I gotcha. So moving forward into like kind of like a current thing that's going on, you got a vinyl release coming up.
Yes.
True. All
Right,
true.
for an album that you released back in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's called Flower Moon.
Correct.
And you're doing a release show. It's Spirit with Cousin Boneless and Dinosaur.
You know it. You know it
Both
all.
homies. They're both guests, friends, and family of the
Oh, I
show.
love them.
We just picked our favorite, our favorite
People.
bands. We were
Yeah.
like, who do we want to play? I was
Well,
like, who I want to
Going
play.
going back to fun lineups and people that are fun to be around.
Yes.
Yeah. That's an awesome gang.
Yeah,
I love all of the people in both of those bands.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they
They're all
both
good
put on
friends.
amazing shows and make amazing music.
Yeah.
And,
Those are the kind of shows it's hard to decide order because everyone
Yeah,
rocks.
yeah.
Like, who's going to go first? So everybody better be on time because
Yeah,
you don't want to
yeah.
miss anyone.
Yeah, we're having with Grey Walker, we're setting up our album release right now. And it's like, well, all these bands are going to be good. And it's like, we don't want to make somebody play first. And it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm actually kind of happy playing first.
Yeah.
That way I could just be done.
Yeah, no,
Hang
I don't have
out.
to like stress it. I can just hang out.
We always appreciate like a good like opening slot every once in a while. you
Yeah,
know,
like the anxiety just gets to me sometimes. I'm just like sitting there and like, ugh.
yeah, I'm a different person before it's set, man. Like, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you.
True. We
Yeah.
like hide out by the merch table and the four of us all like corral somewhere together, but we're like not with other people. And then as soon as we're done playing, we're all running around and we're fine. But before that, we're all just like huddled together, like, when's it our turn? It's hard.
So, given you have this vinyl release coming out for an album that's already been released, you've been pushing for a while, gonna be pushing it again. What's like on the forefront past that? You working on other jams or what's the dealie, yo?
Yeah, man. I guess I don't know. We're
How
not allowed
did
to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna go record a few songs very soon.
Yeah, this year. And the hope is to say a good farewell to Flower Moon. That's what the vinyl release is all about. So there's going to be like last year we did these cool hoodies that Josh, our bassist, designed, and they sold really well. We did like 20 hoodies, 20 t-shirts, something like that, all gone. So he designed a new really cool tarot card design, and so we'll do another set of hoodies, another round of t-shirts. We got these vinyl. We're putting a lot of love into them,
And then
and that
all
money will help us
all those
record.
proceeds.
Totally.
Like,
There
it'll
we go.
get us the rest of the way, essentially. Like, we're almost there, but we need some more. And
Always
we've
gonna
done
need money.
some little
Yeah,
out of town.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a good
Oh,
way to
yeah.
like give the fans like a thank you. Like, here's this product we made. We're like
That's a pretty small
handwriting
run,
the
right?
inserts. It's
Yeah,
only
it's only
100.
100.
That's it. So
And you screen printed the jackets and stuff, right?
yes,
Yeah.
and we hand do all of our merch. So, and the vinyl's gonna have like handwritten inserts. I'm pressing things. I don't want to spoil that. That's a surprise. I'm putting things inside of it. There's little surprises.
I need to
What
get one of these fucking
There's gonna be
things.
goodies inside.
There's
I
gonna
gotta,
be
I gotta get
goodies.
one. I better be at the
You
show,
better be
right?
at the show.
Have
You
to
better
add one
Be
to
at the
wall.
show. That's true. If you want one, you got to come to the show because we're not doing pre-orders. We thought about it and we're like, nah, come to the show, come get it, come hang out.
It's gonna be a blast. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a party.
There's
man.
tarot
You better
readers
be
coming
there.
to the show.
Yes,
We have
I did
3
see that.
readers.
I did see that,
And they're all professional women. They're women that I've worked with. Like, they know their stuff. So if you want like an intuitive reading just about where you're at, or you've never even done tarot before, like, come and talk to them
Okay,
for like
yeah,
15
so-
minutes.
And it's early too. What
Yeah,
time
so
do we get
it starts
kicked
at like
out?
6.
What
9.
time do we get kicked
6
out?
to 9.
Okay, we have to be out by 9 because they have another show.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
it's like,
Yeah,
you can still go to another show after that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, 2 questions. One, how did the vinyl thing come about? Is this a self-release thing? Is there somebody helping you put this stuff out? So self-released.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you go through to do a small run like that? That's something a lot of people might be curious.
Palomino.
Palomino.
They're in
that's it.
Kentucky.
In Kentucky.
Mhm.
I met them through Google. Yeah. It was, I don't know.
So you're just with
Search for a while. And
so through Palomino, they're doing a short run for you.
yeah, so I
And-
looked around for a while and found them because we wanted a short run. And, it's kind of hard to find someone to print 100 records for a decent price, So we found them and ordered 100 records. And it comes with everything except the jacket. So we screened those ourselves.
So did you?
Which was fun and easy. So I highly recommend it to anybody that wants to like save money and
Yeah, I'm
make a good
definitely
product.
right now. This is kind of like the portion for anybody in a band whose ears might perk up that think
Yeah.
making vinyl's impossible. isn't it?
Palomino Records.
And with the jackets, did you buy blank jackets elsewhere?
Yeah.
Where'd you acquire those from?
Bags Unlimited.
Bags Unlimited jackets, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're black, right, with like black ink print.
Black
yeah.
matte.
So I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be like matte, like the cardboard ones you get, but it was
Slightly
kinda-
shiny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
it has that
kinda
coating.
glossy. Yeah, so we're gonna try and spray them down with like
Yeah,
a clear
we used
coat.
acrylic black paint, and it's on there. And then we're gonna whatever that's called that you put on like finished paintings that
Yeah.
seals it.
So
Some sort of
if
sealant.
they look like shit, it's because they were made
Cool.
with love.
They look great.
Yeah.
And they're also made with love.
I don't know if you've either of you have seen the packaging I did for my records when I put them out.
I've seen you make some awesome shit. Yeah,
Well-
I've seen that. Yeah. So,
I'll show you it later. We
Please.
won't get
Yeah.
into it now, but I just love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a lot of people need to have that mindset that you have now, where if you can't get something, I don't know, just the do it yourself
Mm-hmm.
idea, and it just makes it cooler. It's way more personal.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like a reflection of the band. Like
Yeah.
another side, like the visual representation of what the band feels represents
man.
their work.
yeah.
They did this themselves, and
I know
This is
that's
for
what I
you.
look for. Like whenever I'm buying merch from local bands, which a lot of times if I'm spending money on CDs, it's from a local band that I like, or when we go on the road, like somebody that
Yeah.
really caught my eye. And I love stuff like that. Like one of his first from his solo project, he does Tom Hunter and the Rocket Surgeons, and one of his first CDs, like he handwrit the insert and then put that in all of them. And I love that, like just seeing like someone's hand. I don't know. It's really interesting to me.
yeah, I've seen some really awesome packaging. Even like, I do want to stress this, that you don't have to have like a vinyl release to do like a really, really cool packaging. I've seen some awesome CD packaging and tape packaging.
Mine was a CD.
Yeah,
and
his was
I
a
did
little
that
CD.
I got cheap stickers and those cheap cardboard things and put them on there. And then I
There's
wrote lyrics and went to Kinko's and fucking like copied them and shit. It was like the cheapest I could do. I burned all the CDs on my laptop. you
Yeah,
know?
I saw someone playing in a subway in New York once that was giving out these little. They were like 3x3 inch. They looked like little vinyl records, like they were like little cardboard jackets. And you pulled it out, and it had a record in it, but it was just a download card. But it looked like a tiny little vinyl record.
Yeah, that's sick.
And they were all like hand glued and done up, and like you just pulled it out and it had the download card in it.
That's
Nice.
very smart.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
It was just kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, everybody likes vinyl, so here,
Yeah.
you know, like,
I would buy that.
yeah,
Like I would buy that just to have it, and I would probably download it because they went through all that work.
yeah.
Because normally when I get a download card, I lose it. That's so smart. I like that idea.
So prior to being in a band and having to, you know, do DIY crafting, essentially, do you have any like art background or crafting background
I love to
prior
craft.
to this?
I love to craft.
Okay, so a lot of this comes from you.
Yeah, she's the reason we have like candles, and yeah, we'll also have candles for sale at the
Yeah,
show.
they're giant. They're really cool. They're like this big. They're crystal chalices.
Whoa.
And there's dried roses and chamomile and lavender in them. And bloodstone runes, like Nordic runes, and wood wicks. I made it with my mom. There's only 9 of them. So,
Some cool
so if
shit.
you want a really
Some
cool
shit,
candle that
yeah.
looks like a yogurt parfait, come to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the reason our merch table always looks so nice.
Yeah.
That's,
But we're all creative. Like, I think
Yeah,
we're
we
all
are.
crafty
we
and like come up with cool ideas together. I like it. Like everybody
craft
has
well
their part.
together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like even making like the t-shirt designs and stuff. Like,
Yeah, like Josh and Eric do a lot of that
yeah,
stuff.
they're good at computers, and him and I are better at like, okay, here's
This
what
is
we
what
want
we
to do. And they're like, here's how we can do it. But I don't know. I feel like we all brainstorm together well and make stuff happen.
You know, I think it's super great when bands can be very as self-sufficient as possible. You know, when it comes to like demoing and recording, is that something that you handle a lot on your own, or do you like track out a lot?
What do you mean? Say that
Like-
again.
Like if you're like putting together ideas for songs, do you ever like do any like pre-production recording, demoing yourselves of stuff?
we were just kind of demoing in the basement the other day, trying to get ready for the studio. But I don't know. In that sense, we're like never prepared. Flower Moon was crazy when we went in to record that. Half the songs, like no one knew what they were doing. Eric was hired. We hired Eric. That's how we met him.
Yeah,
That's
he
how
was
we met
hired
him
a month
originally.
prior.
Yeah.
Had to learn them all. And he
so-
did great.
Yeah,
He's an
he
awesome
fucking
drummer.
He's
killed
amazing.
It. Fucking killed
He's
it.
just a good musician.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
He's
oh
one
my
of
God.
those. He's one of those psychopaths that's good at everything.
Yes, he is.
Fuck that guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
Fuck you, Eric. I hate you. No, I'm joking. You're
Love
nice.
you.
I like you. You're okay.
But yeah, like half the songs, like no one knew them. It was just like me like showing them to Eric, and then him putting drums to it, and then me like putting like all the guitars and shit to it.
Yeah.
We like changed a song or two, swapped a song or two out, like right before going in there. Like it was all like super spur of the moment. So we're trying to like be a little more prepared. With
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I also do a bunch of like bedroom demos on my own shit. You know, like half the songs on Flower Moon, you can find like an acoustic version somewhere prior to it. you know? So I don't know. We try to be prepared, but we we aren't.
And the reason like it's going so well, like Eric set up a little studio thing in his basement, which is our practice space. So that's what we've been doing like the last month or so, is just like demoing these few songs and trying to get them ready to go talk to Jay. So we're going back to the Wilderness recording studio because he's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that it's really important to be able to do the pre-production and listen to that stuff back. A lot of the time, I mean, I've been in bands where everybody thought they knew the songs before you get to the studio, and it's like, oh wait, you've been playing that this whole time? That's not even right.
That's wrong. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's always going to be a little bit of that, you know?
Well, it's rock and roll, so it should
Yeah,
be
exactly. Exactly.
It can be a little mess.
Okay, so rewinding the conversation, we're going to sidestep off of music for a second. Brenda was over here talking about rune stones and relics and tarot and all this other shit.
Getting a little witchy.
You're getting some hints.
Yeah, so what up with that, Satan?
That is such a stereotype.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
I don't know. I guess the last like couple years, it's just come out in my songs. Like my spirituality has come out in my songs. I'm definitely a very spiritual person, not religious. And we all come from different like spiritual or religious backgrounds, all 4 of us. But as far as like my music goes and what our aesthetic has seemed to become, like since we're darker, it's kind of worked to like tie those things in. Like the song Presser from Flower Moon was written about the show Salem. Like,
Yeah.
just a lot of that stuff finds its way into my work, I guess. But I definitely have like a love for crystals and candles and flowers and all those fun things.
Yeah, that's the stuff that my girlfriend Stacy, shout outs. She's into all that stuff. I mean, there's
Bring her to the show.
There's
we'll be friends.
She has bought like this
Did you know there's
gigantic
tarot
piece
readers
of like she does, dude. Like we have I got her this like handmade Ouija board for Christmas.
Oh, that's sick.
But she said it was like giving her like these bad vibes, so she bought this gigantic piece of like tourmaline or something
To put on it?
Yeah, it's like right over there in front. The shit's in the living room. And I'm just like, okay,
Block that bad juju
yeah,
out.
I'm like maybe that's why I've been in a bad mood the past couple of days. She's like,
Maybe.
maybe. I'm like, I don't know.
It can happen.
Yeah, apparently.
Vibes are real.
Yeah,
You ever walk into a room and you just feel horrible for no reason?
totally.
It's probably like somebody had an argument in there or something bad happened.
Or
Happens
someone
all the
was
time.
murdered.
Someone
Yeah.
was murdered.
Yeah, and, you know, she's always like doing things with like sage and stuff, and I was like, okay.
A lot of bath bombs. There's a lot of bath bombs.
No, there's not so many bath bombs.
I love bath bombs.
But yeah, I mean, they've existed. The only time, this is like a really funny story, and I don't mean to like rag on her. The only time that ever pissed me off was like one time we were making dinner, and she started doing this sage shit, and it was like all I could smell or taste, and it completely fucked up dinner. I was like, do you have to do this before we eat? Is that relatable to you? Does that make sense to you? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I've done it. I burn a lot of incense because I like it.
yeah.
Sometimes
I don't
it's
mind the
overwhelming.
smell of it at all, but
Well,
it was
now
just
you'll
like
be more aware, though. Probably.
it's like I don't need my like curry tasting like this or whatever
Maybe
the
not
fuck
before
we're eating.
dinner.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But so is that something that you like? When did you start getting into that kind of stuff? If you
Personally, I think within probably just the last 2 years or so. I
Okay.
like a friend of mine, Amber, and we'd been friends since college, and we just started connecting on those things. And that's something I wanted to explore too. Like, I'm in my late 20s. It's time to figure some stuff out.
totally.
So, just
Yeah.
trying to figure out like my core beliefs and all that fun stuff, and just exploring what makes me feel better as a human.
Yeah, that's
and
important
sort
stuff.
of led me that way. Yeah.
Totally.
So I like people. I like being connected to people. So that kind of helps me do that in a different way than music or therapy does. It's just like another aspect of myself.
So outside of the music and other things, are there any other hobbies or any interests that we haven't scratched the surface of that we might like to talk about? Like, Tom, what are you into besides rocking and rolling?
Well, I mean, I get into the gear a lot too, but beyond
That's rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
still.
that's more rock and roll. TV, a lot of TV.
Okay.
While rocking.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I go home and I put on TV and then I play guitar while I'm watching TV. Because I just go home and play guitar like every day. But if I'm not sometimes you got to really focus and have the metronome on, and sometimes you really want to focus on TV and not be playing guitar. But usually I'm kind of doing a mix of both.
We could say it's probably safe to say that anything that distracts you away from your passion might be worth the time temporarily.
Yeah.
If it's a show that's really good.
I recently, because
They're not.
I can watch Roseanne and play guitar at the same time, But if it's a new episode of Game of Thrones, shut the fuck up. I want to pay attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just busy dealing with depression and being stoned a lot, working constantly. I don't know. There's not a lot of time for other stuff.
We're
I
not.
feel.
Yeah, none of us are getting younger by
Yeah,
any means,
right?
but
Yeah.
you still at least manage to make it a point for practice to be consistent in your day to day.
Well, that's the thing. The rock and roll, I think, is my main focus.
Yeah, 'cause I do know people that are good friends, good musicians, but they don't practice, and it shows.
Yeah. Well, I
and-
think that was me for a long time, and so
it
just everything changed, and now
but I think it's
a little more focused.
Yeah, and I think it's just putting yourself in that mindset. I think a lot of people might spend more time telling themselves they need to practice more
Yeah.
and not doing anything about it. Whereas you just pick up the fucking guitar and just go for it.
Yeah, and that's all I've been doing, man. And,
Like I literally come home and 95% of the time he's gonna be on the couch watching Roseanne doing his scales.
sometimes my cat sits on top of me. While
She
I
does.
play.
She's like mad. He has the guitar there and she gets mad when he's holding it. So she'll like sit there and like try to like push the guitar away.
Yeah.
She hates it.
But, you know, even with all this other stuff going on, you still can make time for it. It's, you know, you paint a picture that's very easy. What about you, Brenda, with practicing?
Oh gosh, he yells at me constantly. He's like my mother. He's like my mother. The band practices once a week. I try to practice once a week. But my life, like he's the type of individual that chooses one thing in life and goes so hard, which is amazing to me. And I love having people in my life like that. And we wouldn't be the band we are without it. But I'm like a fairy person, and I have like usually 5 or 6 things that I'm trying to do. And then my loved ones have to tell me, you've agreed to too much. Back it up.
Totally. Yeah.
So, yeah. So like 2 or 3 days a week, that's if I can touch my guitar that much, that's my goal. Singing every day. Like I'm always singing in my car and like practicing vocal stuff, but guitar, definitely I want to practice more. I'm one of those people that wants to practice more.
As far as being, you know, fans of music or curious about music, is there any stuff that maybe you listen to that's a little bit more like extreme or maybe above your technical level that like blows your mind, even if it's not anything that like you're super interested in?
Yeah.
Like personally?
Yeah, man. I was listening to, what is it, Raining Blood the other day and trying to play along to that. And I'm like, fuck, this is really fast, man. Like, I need to start listening to some more metal and like trying to play along. I've like learned a couple E-Tid song, Every Time I Die songs.
Yeah.
And that's like, I'm just like a step below that right now, you know? So, you know, I think it's good to listen to that music that you can't play though.
Yeah. I think
because then you want to play it.
I think that even if, you know, you're not particularly interested in a genre or a style of music, I think it's really important to be familiar with everything that exists and have like some sort of knowledge of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
I feel
you
like
can
I've
just
been
communicate better in the world of music. you
Yeah,
know?
I feel like I've been listening to a lot more jazz lately, and sometimes it's just so cool to like listen to those guys play, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. My boss like listens to it, like he's got the biggest library of music I've ever seen, and he plays a lot of jazz at work, and it's good. I like it, man. And I don't remember where I was going with that. But
you know,
you were
just
saying it's
chatting
good to
about-
listen to like different stuff that you don't normally listen to. I mean,
Yeah,
I
just
never fucking
not
listened to
living it-
jazz like
yeah.
when I was younger, you know, like
Not living in a bubble,
yeah.
which, you know,
Yeah.
I think, I mean, just personally from the scene that me and you were in 10 years ago.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in bubbles.
A lot of
And I kn-
skinny white guys.
And I was probably about 40 pounds
no.
lighter too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I grew up in that bubble. I was part of that bubble, and bubbles can be scary.
well, I think that
I think it's good to get outside of your bubble.
yeah, I never really felt like I was a part of that bubble. That bubble was just where it happened to be in alignment with where my life was at that point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like those were some of the people in that bubble for whatever reason were some of the first people like willing to take a chance with me doing the weird music I was doing. They were like kind of into it.
Yeah, man. I remember that because I think I've always felt that way as a musician and like the bands I played in. And I think that's why we appreciated you so much, because you're like rapping at these fucking like hardcore shows.
Yeah.
You know? And we were like, hey, this is sick. But I feel like a lot of music I make, you know, it's like you play with the emo bands and you're too heavy, and you play with the heavy bands and you're too emo, you know?
yeah, totally.
But I think it's cool to like always like not quite be in one of those, to
It's
be
fun.
outside of people's bubbles,
It seems like it's like that with no matter the genre. Like it happens with so many bands though. It's like even when I started playing in a metal band,
yeah.
it became the same fucking shit. It was like, oh, we're not hardcore enough or we're not death metal enough. It's
Yeah.
like, give me a fucking break. Like,
yeah. Just like you gotta make.
yeah, but
You gotta make your own shit.
yeah.
Step
Be
outside that
yourself.
bubble. Yeah.
I always enjoy playing shows, which this kind of going back to your Flower Moon vinyl release, you have 3 bands on it that don't sound anything alike, but it all works,
Yeah.
I think I like playing those shows where it's like, okay, we don't got to worry about being not rock enough or too rock because we're the only fucking rock and roll band on this fucking bill.
Yeah.
That's so much more exciting for me too. Like I don't know, like the whole time, like at least the last 2 years, most shows we play, we're playing with people that don't sound like us. And I like that. Like I like being able to listen to different types of rock or whatever it is. Like we've had different types of things come in that we're playing with, but I really enjoy it. That's why I'm so pumped Cousin Boneless could actually do it.
Yeah.
Because we love playing with them. I love watching them. Like speaking of people that you like admire, just watching them play, I'm like, I will never accomplish this. And Dinosaur, like they're just all of their like shiny, vibey songs I love. Like I love electronic type stuff. So I'm just really happy they're both with us.
Agreed. So, you ready for some hot takes?
Hot takes.
Want to stir the pot a bit?
Ooh. Okay.
You don't have to, or you can cop out. You can cop
let's hear
out.
it.
We're
Let's hear
stirring.
it. I don't know.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that talk down about any local music scene, and I think like the scene sucks, blah 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 blah. Those generic type of statements, and I think we both have a really good time in the city playing shows. We all have friends and bands, and, but regardless of that, there are always problems that we see, that I see, and I'm sure you see too, that never get addressed because people don't want to talk about them. And I'm curious about what some of those problems are that you might see to force you to kind of talk about this shit. Because I think this is important stuff. I think people should talk about these things.
What problems
Anything.
I see?
Yeah, what problems you see.
Oh, man, I try and stay so far out of that.
Yeah.
It was such a blessing when, again, on ways we compliment each other. It's like, I was like, I don't know how to network. I don't know how to like do all this shit. And she was like, I'm great at this, So she like she takes care of so much of that. So I try and hide from all the drama and all the bullshit. And if someone is causing drama, I try and just stay the fuck away from it.
Same too. Like I know that there are definitely things that come up in the scene that could be improved, but I'm also like, I think we're all of that philosophy where we just want to have fun and we want to be successful at the rate that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Like we set goals for ourselves like 6 months out, maybe a year out, and we want to work with other bands that have a similar philosophy. So I want to work with people that are organized. I want to work with people that are good at promoting their own stuff. I want to work with people that are skilled, at what they're making and that are passionate about what they're doing. And I'm going to surround us with those bands at shows. And otherwise, I don't know what's going on out there, And if it's going on, like, I'm like, okay, you're doing something wrong because like you said, I feel good about the friends that I have and the shows that I play and the people I surround myself with. And if you're having a terrible time, then look at yourself. That's how I feel about it. Like, what are you doing wrong to get caught up in that kind of drama?
How do you two feel about like we'll say the pay to play structure
Dude,
of things?
fuck pay to play. Just don't get suckered into it. I mean, I think I don't know about you, but I feel like we got suckered into that a lot, like in high school, and now we know better.
I feel like I understand why it happens and like why certain companies need to do that, but if you're not in a place to like, you can easily avoid that and still play good shows. Like,
Totally.
For us, if there's a pay to play situation, it's probably only if we're opening for someone that we're obsessed with that's really, really famous. Other than that, there's no reason to do it, and we don't want to do it.
Us as old game, we've never done a pay to play show.
I don't think so.
We've done some that, now it's kind of like they're like, hey, we have tickets, you can sell them. They're like, and if you get some money from the ticket, and even that, again, we've only done for like bands that we we really want to play with them. But like, I don't think we've ever agreed to a pay-to-play show as an old game.
Like where you actually just like give money to be on the bill.
Yeah.
We haven't done that.
No.
But
we've
done the
money
ticketing
to,
type
like,
thing.
Things we like. We do benefit shows for like Planned Parenthood and shit like that. But yeah, I'm not going to give money to play a show. That's
I feel really bad about. I think like you take the ticketing structure where you get X amount of tickets. If you could sell X amount of tickets, that's cool. You get a few bucks from each ticket sale. I think that stuff's pretty fair.
That's fair. Yeah, like we didn't complain about those shows. I think that's a cool way to do it. Like if you have to go like gear towards that style.
Yeah.
And that's way more agreeable than pay to play.
I think that, but a lot of people still consider that structure a pay to play structure.
Yeah.
It is, only you don't have to pay.
Well, I think it's more of a promote to play.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
if you
Which seems fair to me.
given the fact of how many bands there are in Pittsburgh, and they have one or two opening slots for whatever band at whatever big venue.
Yeah.
I think that if your band isn't confident enough that it's like, oh, I know that we can bring these people to the show, then you really have no right playing that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get the people that, like, I think it's like when you're a lot younger as a band, not as a person, but just as a band.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck, like, you mean we could open up for Every Time I Die?
Yeah.
Let's just do it, and then just, they spend all of their money buying the tickets.
Yeah.
And then on Facebook, it's like, come out to the show. We got some tickets, ticket giveaway, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, oh, like you just dropped $600 on those tickets.
Yeah.
We haven't
But
had to do
nobody
that.
asks you to do that, though.
Yeah.
That's just the fact that they want to play the show so bad
Yeah.
that they don't want to accept the fact that they can't sell the tickets, but they have the money for them, so they'll buy the tickets just to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean,
Then
I
they'll
don't think you
open
would
up for-
have trouble selling Every Time I Die.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the best example, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't work out for them, and then they go and complain about pay-to-play things, and it's like, no, you just didn't fucking promote.
Yeah, you didn't do what you agreed to.
That's shit that I see all the time.
That's their own dumbass drama, and I don't want to be. I don't want to be a part of that.
But it is. Then it breeds that idea, and especially since it's such like a gray area, like, is the ticket sales, is that pay to play? And I agree. I like that idea of promote to play, because
again,
we did that. We did that for
like
68.
ideal, I guess, but yeah. We
Well,
did it to play with 68, but that show, that show sold out.
It sold out. We sold our portion of the tickets. We got the portion that was agreed upon. We knew what we agreed to. We got the money that we sold. Bam, done.
Yeah, not a problem.
Easy.
I think that's a problem that I see a lot, and something I try to talk about whenever it gets brought up. I know I just brought it up. Nobody asked me about it, but that was just my example.
Got any more?
Personally, I'm fine with how the structure of Pittsburgh is, but there's a lot of people that will come, like, oh, well, it's not in New York or it's not in LA. And my thing,
I don't want to go to.
I don't want to
to
be in either of those places, but I think if anybody wants Pittsburgh to be more like New York or LA, they need to stop being so tolerant of bullshit, because we let so much stuff slide here that you couldn't get away with in a big city, and that's why it's not like that here, because we let people take 45 minutes to set up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man,
we let drummers take their cymbals off of the stands on stage on a $5 lineup. That's why we're not New York.
Why is there a $5 lineup?
Yeah, that's another problem too, right?
Yeah.
I did notice that, your vinyl release show, it's starting early and you have 3 bands.
All playing.
in and out.
We're old people, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we wanna get to bed at a reasonable time. We don't want to keep our friends up,
And like what's nice about Spirit, like before 9, people that are under 21 can come as long as they have an adult with them.
Oh, really?
That's pretty rad.
That's
so like
super
any
cool.
of our like younger DIY folk or like any people like families that we know that want to bring younger folk, they can. So
Wait, before 9?
before 9.
You sure?
Yep, I checked today.
Okay.
It's exciting.
There you go.
So for anyone young listening out there,
Yeah. Come to the Flower Moon vinyl release show and buy a candle.
or a record, or
Or
both,
a record. Or both.
or a T-shirt,
Yeah.
or a hoodie, or whatever else you have.
Everything. Because it's a free show. So you got all your money to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
fun. Yeah.
That's an important thing to mention.
Yeah.
It's free.
It's a free
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
So yeah, if
That's
you don't have
usually
any money, come hang out. We will not pressure you. We just want to hang out
At the
with you and
very
celebrate.
least, check out some bands.
Yeah.
If you have never seen any of these bands playing, go.
Yeah.
And to see all
Yeah.
3 of them at once, whoo!
Yeah. Yeah. I'm super pumped.
Anything else coming up that's super exciting? Or just mildly exciting?
Mildly exciting.
Mildly exciting. We're going to Lancaster, New York this weekend. We're pumped about that. Next weekend, we're supporting Swiss Army. They're having their release at the Moose, Smiling Moose in the South Side on the 29th. And then ours is in May. So that's pretty much our focus the next couple of weeks is just on those couple shows.
End of May, I will be making a little bit of a comeback. Playing a Rocket Surgeon set with my friend Dylan from Brightside. if
Okay,
you know
yeah.
them. Yeah, he plays drums for them. Him and I will be playing a set at Hambones on May 25th.
May 23rd. Or
Third?
May 25th. You're right.
5th.
Sorry, I'm his
25th.
manager.
Yeah, she's supposed to be my manager. She's doing a bad job. Doing a bad job.
23rd is an old game show. 25th, Rocket Surgeons. Got it.
But yeah, so it would be cool. Some like newer songs for the most part that I've never really played before. It'll just be me and him, guitar and drums. So
I've never been in Hambones.
it's interesting. No, okay, so I like Hambones.
I've just never been in there. Not because
No.
I didn't want to be. I just never.
I like Hambones. Again, less now that there's less of a reason for me to be at bars. But I like it. But as far as like being a loud rock band,
It's weird.
it's not ideal. It's a small space, small stage, and there's like tables, so everyone's like just sitting.
Yeah,
And
that's the worst.
It's
but
good
there's
for
not
acoustic.
Yeah, it's
It's weird when we play
acoustic.
there.
It's good for yeah.
Yeah.
But loud bands probably not the best place.
Yeah, maybe that's why I just haven't been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But it's a cool spot. Yeah.
They
Good
do
food.
cool. They do acoustic brunch every Sunday, and it's really nice and
Yeah.
yummy and fun.
Yeah, the acoustic brunch is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, gotta check it out.
Check out their
It's really
brunch.
hard to keep up with everything that's going on.
Yes, which is nice.
There's
and
so
that
much.
proves that our scene isn't dead
Yeah,
and
man.
it's going well.
There's like
There's a show
shit
every
everywhere.
night that you can go to. You can probably get in for $5 or less. There's always something fun going on. Just say hi to people, and that's I feel like all you have to do is say hi and like smile a little bit. We are all like sort of anxious, so just come out. We're all anxious and a little sad. Come out and listen to music.
I agree. I think we about covered it on that. I think that's
I think so.
yeah. History of the band. Past, present, and future.
Yeah. Dang, this is like a
Tarot
tarot
cards.
okay. Yeah.
DIYing.
Yeah.
This was
It was a good one.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
good one.
This was
Thank
tight.
You. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I've never done anything like this before.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Just want to let you know. Yeah. You're killing it. You're killing the game
I've
right now.
never sat on a couch.
Have you sat on a couch this long without a guitar?
Never.
Not in the last few months.
Actually, a really good question. Yeah. No, not normally.
I'm sorry.
But no, thank you. Thank you very much for having us. This is,
You got it.
This was great.
I'm going to do an outro.
Okay.
And that's all, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Brenda, Thom, thanks again for coming over. Be sure to check out the Old Game Flower Moon release on May 12th at Spirits with Cousin Boneless and Dinosaur, 6 to 9 p.m. If you don't know anything about them, you can listen to that fucking album right now on their website, which I think is oldgamemusic.com. Mind like a fucking psychopath right now. I like looked at all this stuff before you came over.
Fantastic.
It's not
impressive.
just
It's impressive.
but they have the albums on Spotify. It's on Bandcamp. Check it out. 2016 best alternative album from Sound Scene Express.
Yes.
Correct. Shout outs to Randy. Got to get you on the show if you're listening, Randy. I just never see you in person. I always ask people in person. I mean, but I messaged you on Facebook. Didn't
Yeah.
I? I should just message him.
Just message him, say hi.
I'm gonna message you, Randy. It's coming. And yeah, I'll be back again next week with another episode. Same time, same place, same channel. You know the drill. My name is Sikes. Start the beat. 2018. Whoop woo.
Nice.
You wanna give them your whoop woo?
Yo! Those are the noises I make. What is it? Beep boop boop beep.
Beep, boop, boop, beep.
Thanks for listening.
I make a lot of weird noises. You shouldn't ask me to make noise.